All right, I've been wanting to do this ever since I saw some guy's picture. I think he was a Substack contributor who said, "I read 70 books this year, and these are my favorites." But he had his stack of 70 books. I've wanted to, it made me want to stack up all mine that I read this year. It happened to be 76 books. A little action shot that, yes, it does actually go down to the ground. I thought it would be insightful kind of seeing the trends. So I arranged it pretty much as I read them, as much as structural integrity would allow. But really now I'm just afraid of the thing falling on me. So I thought I would go over my 6 favorite reads from 2025, so I can finally start reading other people's lists. I haven't wanted to be influenced, and I've saved probably 100 columns. So start with these 3, all nonfiction. Let's see, this is turned on by the Julian Dory podcast, Means of Control by Brian Tao. You will never look at your cell phone the same again as far as ad tracking goes. Yeah, very, very eye-opening. Highly recommend it. Okay, so I mentioned this on my politics one. I think this book, Too Much and Never Enough by Mary L. Trump, PhD, our president's nephew, who is a clinical psychologist. I might have that wrong, her qualifications, but she is highly qualified. I think having a healthcare professional who is also a family member, super insightful. I'm glad I read it. So it makes it in my top 6. Another one that I got turned on to by a podcast, it wasn't the Julian Dory one, but Sebastian Junger, the Perfect Storm author, In My Time of Dying. I found this fascinating in that in this one, an atheist confronts the possibility of an afterlife. He had a very, very near death, minutes from death, internal bleed out situation going on. And in that moment, he saw his dead father, who was also a very rational physicist, atheist, and it was super interesting, super interesting. So all those not very happy topics, but all books that I'm really glad I read and that I can wholeheartedly recommend. The next 2 are going to be the fiction. One, just briefly touch on, you know, I love her so much. Madeline Miller, Circe. I'm so glad I read this, but I've said enough about Circe, but she had to be included in the top 6. The other one, it was a real surprise. So Hugh Howey's Wool from the Silo series. Ended up getting the box set, and it was also when I was on the kick of reading sci-fi that they were turning into series or movies. But yeah, great characters, and you really didn't know where it was going. Don't get caught off guard too much with plots, but really dug it, and looking forward to reading the other 2 in that series. And now finally we come to probably my favorite book. So one of the benefits of going through this whole stack was it did make me realize that it's totally impractical to go back to 2024 and 2023. I'm going to have my hands full, just doing justice to 2025 and 6 as we proceed. But the other bonus was it really made me appreciate some of these books that I had read earlier in the year. And one of them being Paul Rosalie's Mother of God. This guy is also a Julie and Dory podcast guest, and that Julian even went down to the Amazon and visited him. Great behind the scenes stuff. The guy loves huge snakes, and it's got everything. The jungle adventure, the just down to earth guy, from the U.S. who's thrown into out of his depth situation, but then still handles it, kind of thing. Great read on lots of levels, and so that would probably be my number one 2025 read. Almost none of these were actually published in 2025, but they should still be pretty easy to find. So, as always, keep on reading.